It's another beautiful day here in Florida for baseball, and the Yankees will be at Tropicana Field this afternoon. As Pix 11 presents New York Yankees baseball, it'll be the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays in the middle game of a three-game series from Tropicana Field here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty this afternoon. Now, last night, the Yankees won the opening game of the series by a score of 4-1. And it was a very good game for the Yankees. Some great pitching by Masahiro Tanaka and some power by the Yankee hitters.
Yeah, that's a recipe for success right there, Kenny. It all starts out on the mound for the New York Yankees. The starters have been throwing the ball great lately, and Tanaka did not disappoint. 7 shutout innings against the Tampa Bay Rays. He had the split going. He had the slider going. A lot of smiles in that dugout for Tanaka. Also, some smiles for Alex Rodriguez. Second game off of the disabled list. A long home run just to the left of center field. A 2-run shot in the 6th. That made it 3-0. Carlos Beltran in the 8th. He hits a solo shot. Yankees put 4 runs up on the board last night, and that would hold up.
Alex Rodriguez has a great history against the Rays. He's hit 56 home runs in his career against Tampa Bay, but 30 of them have come right here at Tropicana Field. You see the rest of the numbers: 265, 73 runs batted in, and one of 9 ballparks with at least 30 home runs for Alex Rodriguez. Let's check out the pitching matchup this afternoon. Matt Moore gets the start for the Rays. He's 1-3, 5.47. He's been struggling lately. Speaking of struggling, Michael Pineda showed signs of coming out of it. He had a win in his last start. His record is now 2-5.
Well, he needed that win, Kenny, to gain some confidence, and it's all about the slider with Pineda, and more specifically executing the slider with 2 strikes. In that game against Oakland, he struck out 6. A lot of the strikeouts were on the slider, and if you see these highlights, he's finishing the slider down. Such a key for Pineda, coming off a good start, trying to keep it going here this afternoon.
Well, the Yankees hope he can pick up a win this afternoon and make it at least 2 out of 3. Hey, take your time. First pitch is coming up in a few minutes, right here on Pix 11. Yankees baseball is brought to you by Hyundai. Make this summer better than ever. Visit the Hyundai Memorial Day sales event today for incredible deals. By Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. By Land Rover, above and beyond. By PC Richard & Son, the appliance, electronics, and mattress giant. By NYA Langone Medical Center, made for New York. And by ChevyOffers.com. We're just about ready for baseball. A-Rod had a big home run here last night. Can he do it again today? Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next, right here on Pix 11.
I think he's much more relaxed. I think he came in last year knowing that he had a chance to make it the team and probably put way too much pressure on himself. And I think he came into spring training relaxed and understood, I can't really compete for a job unless I relax and play the way I'm capable of playing, and instead of pressing so much. And I think all the at-bats last year probably helped him, made him a better player. We always felt that he could catch at this level. It was just offensively, he had some struggles, but he's figured it out.
Well, that was Yankee manager Joe Girardi about Austin Romine, who is doing the catching this afternoon for the Yankees and batting ninth. And Flash, you being a former catcher certainly can relate to what Romine has done. It's not an easy job being the backup catcher,
especially when you're a younger player. And I think Joe referenced, there's more experience, more maturity. He's more comfortable in the role. But I think another thing, offensively, he's got a little leg kick going now that he found last year, and it's working for him. And I think that's giving him the ability to go out there a couple of days a week and be a productive offensive player.
Yeah, Romine hitting .277 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. He gives Brian McCann a well-needed day off. You'll probably see McCann back in the lineup tomorrow afternoon in the finale of this 3-game series against the Rays. The Yankees trying to make it 2 in a row with a win this afternoon. Let's check out the Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond. Jacoby Ellsbury will lead it off here. He had a couple of hits in last night's ball game, hitting .283. Aaron Hicks will be in left field. He'll bat second, just under .200 with the batting average. Carlos Beltran with his 11th home run of the season last night. And he's just 1 hit away from 2,500 for his career. Alex Rodriguez, a big home run. 2-run shot, 440 feet. He hit a homer last night. Starlin Castro about 5th. He'll be at second base. Dustin Ackley will be at first. Chase Headley will be at third base. D.D. Gregorius will play shortstop. And batting ninth, as we mentioned before, Austin Romine. He'll be doing the catching, and they'll be facing Matt Moore.
Well, the left-hander Matt Moore getting ready to start his warm-up tosses, and the year has not gone the way the Rays had hoped for him. 1-3, 5.47 ERA. We check out our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers, and things have not been pretty the last 6 starts. 0-3 with a 6.89 ERA, and if you talk about his fastball, which everybody knows Matt Moore has a quality fastball, that's not the problem. Still throwing just under 93 miles an hour, but he is having some issues with left-handed hitters. They're hitting .348 off the left-handed pitcher.
Well, he does use that fastball 53% of the time, but he's had problems controlling it. In fact, he's given up 9 home runs in 51 innings this year. And let's take a look at the Rays defense behind Matt Moore. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Geyer in left, Montook in center, Souza Jr. back in the lineup. He's in right. Longoria, Miller, Pierce, and Morrison in the infield. Hank Conger doing the catching once again this afternoon, and he's doing it for Matt Moore. There is Kevin Cash, we mentioned last night, the youngest manager in the major leagues, just 38 years old.
We're going to look at the keys to the game for the Yankees. Are brought to you by your Hyundai dealer. Pineda's slider was such a big topic of conversation last time. If he finishes down and away with 2 strikes, he will be in good shape. And you stay away from Steve Pearce. He's been swinging a hot bat lately. Since May, he's been hitting .319 with 7 home runs and 15 RBIs. And the running game with Hank Conger behind the plate should be another factor. He's only thrown out 1 of his last 52 base stealers trying to steal.
Well, here's Jacoby Ellsbury. We mentioned a couple of hits last night. His last 28 games hitting well over .300 at .316 clip. And he's jumped his season average up to .283 with a couple of home runs and 15 runs batted in. So he'll be the first Yankee to face Matt Moore this afternoon. And as Flash told you, Moore has been struggling his last 5 starts. He's had some problems with the opposition. And here's the first pitch of the ball game this afternoon, and it is in there for a call strike. The home plate umpire is Jerry Lane. That pitch is inside, and it's 1-1. Now, the Rays won each of Matt Moore's first 3 starts of the year, but they have lost each one of his last 6. So he has not been pitching well lately. That pitch is hit in the air, and it'll be a foul ball down the left field side. A ball and 2 strikes on Jacoby Ellsbury.
Well, we just saw the manager, Kevin Cash, looking on, and you see the numbers Kenny was talking about. The last 6 games, things not going the way the Rays hope. But if you're Kevin Cash coming into the year, you were banking on Matt Moore and Chris Archer to be the top 2 guys in your rotation, and both of them have gotten off to a slow start.
1-2 pitch is lined into center field for a base hit. So Jacoby Ellsbury, we told you he's been hot over his last 29 or so ball games. Picks up a leadoff single as he did in last night's ball game.
I mentioned lefties hitting .348 against Matt Moore. That number has just risen a little bit. And he's got a big curveball, but obviously didn't want to throw it there with 2 strikes.
That'll bring up Aaron Hicks. He made an appearance last night as a defensive replacement for Carlos Beltran late in the ball game. So this will be his first at bat of the series. Just under 200. Trying to get off of those interstates. Switch hitter, batting right-handed, of course, against the lefty Matt Moore. First pitch is fouled back to the right. Flash, you were talking about Matt Moore, and we showed you the numbers. They haven't been pretty. Moore allowed a season-high 10 hits in his last start at Miami. He had a 30-pitch first inning. Kind of put him in a hole right away. Slide step. This ball's lined into center field. Back-to-back hits for the Yankees to get it started here in the first inning. So Ellsbury moves to second. Hicks is aboard at first. And that should get Hicks over the 200 mark.
Well, Matt Moore, he's a fastball, curveball, changeup pitcher, and that was a changeup right there. And you can see Hicks was out front, but the pitch was elevated, so he was able just to stay back a little bit and drive it right back up the middle. Nice piece of hitting. 2
on, nobody out. Going to bring up Carlos Beltran. Another switch hitter on the right-hand side of the plate. 2,499 hits in his career. Had a home run here last night. First pitch looked like a changeup blown away for ball 1. Moore in hot water. The last 12 games, 311. 9 extra base hits and 15 runs batted in. A chance of driving some more runs right here for Beltran. That breaking ball drops in for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Well, you think back to last night's game against Chris Archer. He was struggling in the first inning, was able to make his way out of some trouble. Yankees applying the same pressure here this afternoon with Matt Moore. Archer actually pitched a good ball game. His defense let him down a little bit.
He made an error on his own that didn't help. 2-1 on Carlos Beltran.
And we talked about it last night with Archer and Tanaka, who just had such a great game, 7 shutout innings. But like we talked about with Archer, when you're struggling and you go out and you get in trouble right in that first inning, you start thinking, here we go again. Archer was able to work his way out of it and threw a good game. See what Matt Moore's up to here.
Change up, foul tipped into the glove of Hank Conger. The count evens at 2-2. Show you how tough it's been on Matt Moore lately. In the last 6 starts, he's had only 1 1-2-3 inning. Only 1 where he's got the side out in order. And that's not going to happen here in the first inning today. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 on for the Yankees here in the first. Off-speed pitch, grounded back to Moore. He handles it, throws the second. There's one on the first, and it's a double play. So just what the doctor ordered for Matt Moore, as Ellsbury will move over to third base, but now there are 2 outs.
Well, Matt Moore makes the pitch when he needs to. It looks like it's going to be a breaking ball right in on Beltran's hands, jammed. Good feed to second base and the strong throw to get Beltran. So just like Chris Archer able to work his way out of trouble last night, Matt Moore trying to do the same this afternoon.
There's a long stretch by Morrison to complete the double play. And now Moore will have to face Alex Rodriguez. That 6th home run came in last night's ball game, and it was a shot, 440 feet. High and away for ball 1. Ellsbury's at third with 2 outs. Matt Moore not quite out of the woods yet. Now you can recall at Yankee Stadium, Matt Moore was winding up Ellsbury on third, and he stole home plate. The always exciting steal of home. Matt Moore now working from the stretch. Curveball is high, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Alex Rodriguez. That was back on April 22nd at Yankee Stadium, a game the Yankees won 6-3. Moore took the loss in that game. 6 2/3, 8 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Drops a curve in, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, good pitch to get back in the count for Moore right there. Back-to-back curveballs. First one was not good. That was quality. And he always has that 93-mile-an-hour fastball in the back of your mind. You can get some strikes with the off-speed.
Change up. 3-2. Well, he's tried to stay away from the fastball to A-Rod, and Starlin Castro would be next. Payoff pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Matt Moore strikes out Alex Rodriguez. 2 leadoff singles go to waste for the Yankees here in the top of the first. Honda starts something special with a great deal on a Honda. Brandon Guyer, he hitting .313, will lead it off. Brad Miller will be at shortstop, followed by Evan Longoria. The cleanup hitter today is the second baseman, Steve Pearce, followed by Logan Morrison, the first baseman. Steven Souza Jr. will be in right field. Corey Dickerson will be the designated hitter this afternoon. Mikey Matuk will be in center field, and Hank Conger will bat ninth, and he's doing the catching.
Lineup for the Rays. Going to get a look at Michael Pineda finishing up his warm-up tosses. Look at the numbers on Pineda. Picked up a win his last time out. 2-5, 6.34 ERA. Look at our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. He just wants to keep the line moving. The Yankee starters have been doing a nice job lately, and he snapped a 5-game losing streak his last time out in Oakland. Big reason why, the improved slider with 2 strikes, 6 strikeouts in that game, and keep up the dominance of Evan Longoria. Only 3 for 22, a 136 batting average against Michael Pineda.
Well, Pineda looking for his second consecutive win. As Flash told you, he won last Sunday in Oakland. And here's Brandon Guyer leading off. .313, 6 home runs on the year. And he swings at the very first pitch and fouls it straight back. 6 home runs for Guyer. He hit one in the final game of the series against the Marlins here. His career high is 8. So he should blow by that mark this season. The 0-1 pitch. Look out, he's hit by a pitch. That is the 14th time that Guyer's been hit by a pitch this year.
We talked about it last night. He kind of moves in towards the plate with his front side. Steps right into the plate, which is obviously going to make him more susceptible to being hit by the pitch. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's exactly the spot you want to get hit. Little fastball.
So a man on, and Brad Miller will come to the plate, the Rays shortstop. First pitch is fouled off to the left. Of course, Pineda has that big fastball, about mid-90s. Every once in a while, he might tune it up to 96. But as Flash has mentioned, his key pitch is his slider. He throws that more than any other pitcher in the game. 35% of the time, it's a slider. Throw over the first, and Geyer is back.
You know, Kenny, we've seen two hitters this afternoon for the Rays. Both have swung at the first pitch. A very aggressive offensive ball club here in Tampa. They swing at the first pitch about 35% of the time. Major League average is about 28%. Pineda has to make some quality pitches on the first pitch of the counts.
It'll be a ball and a strike on Miller. We mentioned last night he came over to the Rays in a trade with Seattle. 31 hits on the year, 14 of those are for extra bases, so he's got a little pop. High again, and it's 2 balls and a strike. 94 miles an hour. Today's high-speed pitch comes from Montefiore, doing more in the state-of-the-art healthcare. Pineda usually pounds the strike zone, has a good strikeout to walk ratio. Geyer with a decent lead over at first. There he goes. The pitch is grounded fair. Geyer's to second. He's on his way to third. Here comes the throw to second base by Hicks, and Miller's in with a double. And the Rays are in business here in the bottom of the first, second and third, and nobody out.
Well, the Rays, they hit a lot of home runs, but playing a little small ball here early on in the first inning. Miller, a nice job of hit and running. Fastball out over the plate, doesn't try to do too much, and you get a great look at it coming right into your living room there. Geyer with plenty of speed cruises into third base. The only question, would Hicks have a play at second, throw off line?
So an RBI opportunity for Evan Longoria, the third baseman, as he steps in. He and Pierce, who's on deck, are tied for the team lead and runs batted in with 20. The Yankees are going to keep the infield back, although first baseman Ackley is up close. Swing and a miss for strike one.
I mentioned the numbers. 136 batting average Longoria against Pineda, and a big reason why is that slider. He just took a big swing and a miss at that. Kenny, you talked about last night, Ellsbury sees Archer and hits him well. Well, this is the flip side of it. Doesn't pick up the fastball or the slider out of Pineda's hand. We'll see if that continues here this afternoon.
Ball is hit in the air to left field. Hicks will have a play as he nears the warning track. He'll make the catch. The throw is going to go to third base, and this is going to score a run as Geyer comes in on the sacrifice fly, and it's 1-0 Rays. Evan Longoria picks up his 21st run batted in of the season. And the batter that Michael Pineda hit to lead off the ball game comes in to score. Romine's going to go out and talk to Pineda here. And while he does, we'll take a look at the Yankees defense, which is brought to you by M&T Bank, understanding what's important. You saw Hicks in left field, Ellsbury's in center, Beltran's in right, Headley, Gregorius, Castro, and Ackley round out the infield for the Yankees. And Austin Romine is doing the catching this afternoon. Here is Steve Pierce, and his flash told you he's hot. 15 runs batted in this month. That leads the Rays. Had a home run here last night to end the Yankees shutout bid. That was the only run for the Rays. And he'll take a pitch for a call strike.
And when you go through those meetings before a series, this is the guy that jumps out at you because of these numbers. 319, 7 home runs, 15 RBIs during the month of May. And he didn't disappoint last night, adding another home run. So if you're Pineda and Austin Romine, this is the hitter you need to be careful with.
The 0-1 pitch, and that misses low and away, 1-1. You know, Pierce was a free agent last year. He was with the Baltimore Orioles, and this was a logical destination for him, signing with the Rays, because in 2014 and 15, as a member of the Orioles, he had 7 home runs in this ballpark. So this was probably a place where he said, I'd like to play there. Now he's batting cleanup. Pitches chopped foul. I think got a piece of Pierce in the batter's box. We told you before during the season, Pineda has struggled in the first inning. You can see after the first and second, he settles down after that. 6 home runs allowed of the 10 in the first 2 innings of ball games for him. And his ERA up at 11. So it's kind of continued here this afternoon.
The big reason why is the slider, Kenny, and especially with 2 strikes. Ahead in the count here, 1 and 2. This is where Pineda did a better job his last outing against Oakland, burying the slider down. The last slider he just threw to Steve Pierce kind of spun in the middle. He got away with one.
Ball is lined into left field for a base hit. Hicks comes up with it. Charlie Montoya is going to hold Miller at third base. As Steve Pierce picks on a pitch and lines it into left. Second hit of the inning for the Rays.
Well, this is going to be disappointing for Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, because this is what they've worked on. The slider out of the stretch, and it just spins right in the middle of the plate. With Pineda, you're probably lucky this is only a base hit to left field. There could have been a lot of damage done on that pitch, just spinning in the middle. There's a look at the spinning. There's no break. It just sits right there and speeds up a hitter's bat. Kind of reverting to the problems that he had a few starts ago.
If you recall, in the game that Pineda pitched against the Rays at Yankee Stadium, that was back on April the 24th. He got the first 2 batters out in the first inning, then proceeded to give up 5 runs on 6 hits. Here's Logan Morrison, first and third and 1 out. And that pitch is in there for a called strike.
Well, Kenny, if you're Austin Romine behind the plate, you might want to get away from the slider just a little bit and start throwing the changeup a little bit more to a left-handed hitter here in Morrison and kind of get Pineda back on track. Fastball changeup to the lefty. Take a breather from that slider and come back to it later on.
The 0-1 pitch misses outside, and it's 1-1. You saw the 10 RBIs for Morrison. All 10 have come in his last 10 ball games. And it looked like he called for a changeup.
Yep, I like it.
Little number off the end of the bat. This is going to be a tough play for Headley. It's going to go for an infield single, and another run will score as Miller crosses home plate, and it's now 2-0 Rays. Morrison with a cue shot off the end of the bat. Gets a base hit and a run batted in.
Yeah, sometimes you do everything right. Austin Romine calls the right pitch. Michael Pineda executes. Down and away, you have a hitter fooled, and you have nothing to show for it. An infield hit and an RBI. See the look from third base right off the end of the bat. Clearly it's going to stay fair. And Headley doesn't have a play, and everything Pineda did right, he has nothing to show for it.
Who's Hot is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And this is Steven Souza Jr. against Michael Pineda. 6 for 12 with 3 home runs and 6 runs batted in. In fact, in that first inning in New York, Souza Jr. hit a home run off Pineda.
Well, Pineda better be ready first pitch. Souza swings at the first pitch over 50% of the time. I'm sure that was part of the conversation with Larry Rothschild. First pitch has to be quality.
In fact, later on in that game, Souza hit another home run off Pineda. So he touched him up twice on April the 24th. 2 on, still only 1 out. First pitch hit on the ground, foul down the third base side. Souza Jr. has been struggling lately. Just 1 for his last 12. Let's go back to April 24th. And this was in the first inning. This was a no-doubter. He really got into this one. The second one was kind of surprising. Opposite field. He went against the traffic.
Second deck.
Into the second deck. He's a strong young man. Looked like Jerry Lane almost called that one. A little bit low, and it's a ball and a strike.
Yeah, even if you don't get the call, you like the pitch. Down, out of the strike zone. At least have a hitter thinking that he's going to swing at a strike and it disappears. Good take by Souza.
Two balls and a strike. If there's one thing that Souza is not incorporated in his game, it's avoiding the strikeout. He strikes out quite a bit. He's in the top 10 in the league. Yesterday, Kevin Cash gave him a day off. He's 1 for his last 12. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Mentioned 60 strikeouts. Justin Upton of the Tigers leads the league in striking out with 68.
Another good slider. He's thrown 3 sliders this at bat to Souza, and all 3 have been good. And the problems Pineda has had in the past, and Meredith Marakovitz has talked about this, he tries to overthrow with 2 strikes. Make the slider better than it has to be. You don't have to add on right here.
Full count now as he misses outside. Pitch count up to 20. Joe Girardi has seen this before from Michael Pineda, where the Yankees have to dig their way out of a hole. Same for pitching coach Larry Rothschild. You know, Flash, I think back to our open that we did in the game last Sunday when Pineda was pitching, and we had Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach. We had sound from him, and he didn't mince words. No. He kind of said, we're a quarter of the way through the season. He has to pitch better. The 3-2 pitch is hit on the ground to short. Could be 2. Gregorius to Castro for 1. On the first and not in time. Souza Jr. can get down the line for a big man.
Let's take a look at the pitch-by-pitch from Pineda to Souza. First pitch slider. Swings a lot of first pitch strikes. You get strike 1. Slider misses. Good pitch right there. Cutter just off the plate. And he comes back with another slider. Good pitch. Fastball just misses. 3-2 count. Slider should be a 6-4-3 double play. And Souza just beats it out down the line.
Yeah, he has some tools. Power and speed.
We'll see the transition right here in the turn. Good flip to Castro. Everything looks to be right on time. Souza just getting after it down the line, beats it out.
So the inning will continue here in the bottom of the first. The 7th hitter in the order will come up. That's Corey Dickerson, who today is the designated hitter. And the first pitch is a little outside for ball 1. So Pineda's pitch count is going to be elevated somewhat here in the first. 208 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Dickerson as a designated hitter this year. Remember, he came over from the Rockies. Not really experienced in his role. He's only hitting 152 as a DH. This is his 25th start as a designated hitter. He fouls this one back to our left, and the count is a ball and a strike. Last night, Dickerson started in left field. There are your base runners. Steve Pearce at third. And Steven Souza Jr. at first. Two 2-0 Rays here in the first. Broken bat looper into left field for a base hit. Pearce will score, and it's now 3-0. Dickerson got that off the end of the bat, but he can get a new bat. You can't always get a base hit. 3-0. The Rays have the lead.
Well, Pineda pitching into some tough luck. I mean, there was an infield hit, an RBI, a ground ball that you thought was going to be a 6-4-3 double play. And then Dickerson gets an off-speed pitch, a little changeup down and away, breaks his bat, just flips it into left field for a 2-out RBI. Pineda making some really good pitches right here, and
wow,
again, nothing to show for it. Some bad luck.
So the Rays with 3 runs on 4 hits here in the first, and it'll bring up Mikey Matuk, the center fielder. Recently recalled from the minor leagues, just 1 for 9 since being called back from AAA Durham. Fouls it straight back to the screen. Former #1 draft pick Matuk out of Louisiana State University. LSU is a fine baseball program. A lot of good pitchers that come out of there. Matuk, while he was there for 3 years, hit .344. Before the Rays picked him in the first round, a supplemental pick. Fouled back, and Matuk is in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. So Pineda, 26 pitches, 17 of them been strikes, 9 balls. That's a pretty good ratio. It's just that, as Flash said, an infield single, broken bat single, have scored 2 runs, 2 of the 3 runs. The other scoring on a sacrifice fly by Evan Longoria. The 0-2 pitch, swung on it, missed, strike 3, and Pineda gets out of it, but not before the Rays score 3 times. And they take the lead at the end of 1. It's 3-0. Brought to you by Infinity. Visit your local Infinity retailer for a test drive today. The Blue Jays place their shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki, on the 15-day disabled list with a strained right quad. And Yu Darvish, a lot of people will be wanting to see what happens with Mr. Darvish tonight. Will make his season debut against the Pittsburgh Pirates back from Tommy John surgery. And I'm sure a lot of people will want to see the outcome of that. It's a big addition to the Rangers pitching staff. Michael Pineda and the Yankees down 3-0 as Starlin Castro takes a pitch from Matt Moore, and it's low for ball 1. So the Yankee offense is going to have to get going here as they are on the short side of a 3-0 score. There are the numbers for Castro. Hit the ball hard last night, did not get any hits, and fouls this one off, and it's a ball and a strike. Castro off to a decent start with the Yankees, 16 extra base hits in 46 games. It took him 102 games last year with the Cubs to get the 16 extra base hits. Moore delivers, and that misses. 2 balls and a strike. It'll be Castro, Ackley, and Headley for the Yankees here in the second. Yankees did pick up 2 hits in the first inning against Moore, but a double play and a strikeout ended the threat. Curve drops in there for a strike. 2-2 the count on Castro. Pitch is hit hard. Miller has it. Straightens, throws, and it's in time. 1 down. So Castro still looking for his first hit in this series, and he's retired. Now Dustin Ackley will come up. We did hear that Mark Teixeira is feeling a little bit better. Meredith mentioned that on the pregame show. And the Yankees are looking for him to get back in the lineup within the next couple of days. There's Tex out with neck spasms. So Ackley playing first base today against a left-handed pitcher, and he takes a first pitch from Moore in there for a call strike.
I mentioned that the splits aren't the traditional left-on-left for Matt Moore. Lefty's hitting about .350 now against him.
This ball's hit in the air to left field, and going back is Geyer. He'll make the catch for out number 2, and we're going to bring in Meredith Marakovitz.
Well, Kenny, originally the Yankees thought that Mark Teixeira could be ready as soon as tomorrow. Earlier today, Joe Girardi ruled that out. He hasn't really done any baseball activity yet. He's just been icing that neck. But the good news is, as you mentioned, he woke up today feeling a little bit better, so there is progress being made. They're hoping he could maybe pick up a bat tomorrow and take some swings. If that goes well, maybe Monday in Toronto will be the day for Mark Teixeira.
Well, the Yankees certainly need Tex to get going with the bat, but of course his defense is always steady. There's a foul ball down the right field line. Long run for Morrison, and this is going to fall without a catch near the Rays bullpen. 1 strike on Headley. One hitter who has come on with the bat of late has been Headley. Over 300 in his last 17 games. As you can see with the .218 batting average, he still has a ways to go. Got off to a very, very slow start. Hit hard, and it's off the glove of Longoria, and it continues on in the left field for a base hit. Solid line drive hit for Chase Headley. I don't know if Longoria had flagged that one down. It might have dragged him into left field.
This is a rocket off the bat of Chase Headley, and it's an off-speed pitch, and I think it's a curveball from Moore, which is a pitch I've been curious to watch because of those numbers against lefties. They're elevated. It tells you the curveball, not a quality breaker. Maybe a changeup, cutter changeup, something middle of the plate, not the big curveball. Headley all over it.
So Headley at first with 2 outs. It brings up Didi Gregorius, the shortstop, and Didi, one of the top 10 hitters in the league against left-handed pitching. 366 against lefties. Moore deals, straightens Didi up, and it's ball 1.
Isn't it funny how things change, Kenny? The first time we saw Gregorius in spring training, he was going to be a platoon player, right? Couldn't hit lefties. Now all of a sudden you're talking about the elevated batting average against left-handed pitching. Everyday player.
This one's popped foul to our left, and it's a ball and a strike. I think one thing, we talked about this last night. The way he hits the ball, the all feels a lot better. His swing is cut down with 2 strikes, trying to make more contact. If you look at the Rays defensively, they're just about straight away, and that's an indication of a hitter can hit the ball just about anywhere. All 4 of his home runs against righties, but a much better batting average against the left-handers. He's hanging in there. The runner goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is a strike as well, but not in time. Headley's in scoring position. And what is that now for Conger? 1 out of the last 53 he's thrown out.
Well, there's sometimes you can't blame a catcher. The numbers are not good, but Headley goes first move and gets a good jump. It'll be his 4th stolen base of the year. And Conger, right on the money. You see Headley with his slide, comes off the bag a little bit. Miller applying the tag.
Oh, he's. Yeah, I think he's out.
Who wants this more, Conger or the Rays?
I think Conger does. Well, I might have to drag out the whiteout here. Boy, just trying to stop your momentum when you're sliding into a bag. Yep, he's not touching the bag, and he is being tagged. Well, this play is under review currently, and it's brought to you by Mazda. Driving matters. And there's the call. Headley is out. The drought is over for Conger. And it had to be under review to get it out. So that'll do it for the Yankees here in the second. Look at the Yankees' upcoming schedule is brought to you by Modell's, your fan gear headquarters. And you can see today's game, and then tomorrow afternoon right here on Picks. The Yankees close out this series, then it's on to Toronto. One-game series in Detroit, a makeup game, and then on to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. And that's the upcoming Yankee schedule. And Pineda's first pitch to Hank Conger is inside for ball one. So now it's 2 for 53. Still nothing to write home about, but Conger tosses out Chase Headley, kinda. This pitch is grounded foul, and it's a ball and a strike.
That's the wrong way to look at it, Kenny. He's won for his last one.
Yeah, all right.
He's hot.
He's hot. Let's put it this way. If Headley had been able to maintain contact with the base, he would have been safe. So I'm not taking that as a full thrown out. Conger hitting 153, if things weren't bad enough. 2 balls and a strike on the Rays catcher. Conger is a better hitter than a 153 average. Hits this one hard, and the count levels at 2-2. It'll be Conger, then back to the top of the order. Geyer and Miller to follow here in the second for the Rays. They lead 3-0. Scoring 3 times in the first inning against Michael Pineda. A hit by pitch, a double, a sac fly, a couple of singles, and then one more single. Added up to 3 runs. Full count. As Pineda misses with a changeup. The shift is on with Conger at the plate. 3-2 pitch is hit high in the air to right field. Looks like Beltran has a beat on it. He'll put it away, and there's one out here in the second inning. Conger is retired. One down, back to the top of the order. And here's Brandon Guyer, who led off the game being hit by a pitch. We mentioned the 14th time he's been hit by a pitch this year. I don't think I was hit that much in my whole career. Here's the first pitch. And by far, it's the most in the major leagues. The first pitch is low for a ball. Second in the American League is Alex Gordon. Gordon's on the disabled list with a fractured wrist. Gordon of the Kansas City Royals has been hit 7 times. Half as many as Brandon Guyer. You've just been informed by Bill Bolin, our producer. I was hit 17 times in my career. Guyer's been hit 14 times already this year. I did stand off the plate a little bit more than he did. How about you, Flash?
You had the luxury of being a switch hitter also.
Yeah, that helps.
You see that front foot diving towards home plate. I think it's a pretty healthy hack as well.
There's only one pitcher to hit me twice. That was Bill Travers of Milwaukee. I'm still ticked at him. The 1-2 pitch. High fastball. Guyer wouldn't chase, and it's 2-2. You know, sometimes you know when it's on purpose. There are other times when you just figure, got away. 2-2 pitch. Changeup is low, and the count is now full. Second straight full count for Michael Pineda. Because when the pitcher winds up, he's looking at the target. There are certain times when they wound up and they were looking right at me. So that kind of gave me an indication where the ball was going.
So you feel that Travers twice on purpose?
I thought, I don't know. You know, once, that's good. You know, we're good. Twice, I don't know. Count is still full on Guyer. You have to ask him. You know, the pitchers are the ones always, it got away.
Well, the pitch count will be a conversation for Pineda this afternoon. The tough first inning and then the 3-2 counts here in the second. 40th pitch already.
Payoff pitch once again. Guyer fouls another one off. And the pitch count will go up at least one more here with Guyer at the plate. High fly ball to center. Ellsbury makes the catch. 2 down for the Rays here in the second. We mentioned it's a bright sunny day outside. This is sort of a translucent roof here. Kind of a tarp-like covering. And there we are outside. We told you a sunny day. Beautiful outside. And sometimes the ball, when it's hitting the air, will kind of blend in with the roof. And the outfielders are helping each other out. You saw Ellsbury hold up his hand to let Beltran know that he had it. He's not going to get this one. Line drive. It's going to fall in front of Beltran and get by him. On the move is Miller. He's the second, on his way to third, and he'll be in with a stand-up triple. So Miller now with a double and a triple in the ballgame.
Well, it looked like a play that Beltran was going to make, and a couple of things. Off the end of the bat, you hear that it cracks the bat, so it didn't have as much steam on it. And then Beltran, there's a little bank of lights. You're wondering maybe if he had trouble finding that looping line drive. Looked like he hesitated a little bit. And Miller runs well, Kenny. You said it comes around second. He's thinking 3 all the way.
That is his third triple of the year, and he stands over at third base with 2 down. Here's Longoria, who lifted a sacrifice fly to left field in the first inning, picked up his 21st run batted into the year. That's in their first strike from Pineda. One thing about Longoria this year, he hasn't hit well with runners in scoring position. Just 154. Hits this one well. Deep left center field. Going back. This one is gone. A home run. And the Rays lead 5-0. Number 9 on the season for Evan Longoria.
Well, when you look at the numbers for Longoria coming in against Pineda, he had not done anything, not hit a home run, struggling with the batting average. Big reason why is the slider. Well, he doesn't get the slider there. He gets a fastball right down the middle of the plate and hammers this to left center field. Again, look at the location and the pitch right down the middle, elevated. Longoria gets good extension.
That is his 30th career home run against the Yankees, his 28th as a third baseman. And only one of the third basemen hit more home runs against the Yankees in his career, and that was Brooks Robinson. Hit 34. And it took Brooks, I think, about 23 years to do it. Pierce hits one in the air to deep center field. Going back is Ellsbury to the wall. This one's off the wall. Pierce is on his way to second, and he's going to hold up there with a double. All this coming with 2 outs. A triple, a home run, and now a double. And Joe Girardi's reaching for the phone to the bullpen.
And against this Rays team, you have to be ready first pitch of at bats. They are going up there looking to swing the bat. Very aggressive offensive baseball team. And Pierce, we mentioned, swinging a hot bat lately. And that's just right down the middle. Put it on a tee for him. And Pineda gets lucky. This ball stays in the yard.
That brings Larry Rothschild out as we look at Ellsbury running out of room in center field. That ball just about a foot from going out of the ballpark. As Pierce picks up his 5th double of the year. Good effort by Ellsbury. Couldn't flag it down. So Steve Pierce now 2 for 2 with a single and a double.
The starting pitching has been fantastic for the New York Yankees lately, but Pineda, a little bump in the road here this afternoon.
Here is Logan Morrison, who's 1 for 1, had an infield single and a run batted in the first inning. Takes a pitch in there for a strike. Today's Power Report is furnished by Bob's Everything's Better with a Bobopedic. Find out why at mybob.com. And it's the American League home run leaders. The Rays lead the league with 69 home runs, 2 more than the Orioles, 3 more than the Mariners. The Blue Jays are on that list, as well as the Houston Astros. Ball and a strike to Logan Morrison. The Rays now with 5 runs on 7 hits in an inning and 2/3. Luis Cessa, hard-throwing right-hander, is up in the bullpen for the Yankees. Popped up, and let's see, Headley over near the stands. Does he have a play? Nope, he's going to run out of room. There's a happy fan who makes the catch. And Morrison's at-bat will continue. Pineda got 2 fly ball outs to start it here in the second. Then a triple, a home run, and a double. And the Rays have tacked on a couple more runs. Evan Longoria with his 9th home run of the year. Check swing. Morrison goes around. Romine will throw on the first to complete the putout, and that's it for the Rays. They do pick up the 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a runner at the end of 2. It is 5-0 Tampa Bay.
Is brought to you by the Blue Cash Everyday Card from American Express. Nice look outside Tropicana Field. A beautiful day here in the Tampa St. Pete area. Yankees down by 5 early on in this one. Matt Moore back out for the top of the third. It'll be Gregorius, Romine, and Ellsbury. Gregorius had his 9-game hitting streak snapped last night, batting average at .270. We already talked about a good job he's doing against left-handed pitching, but he gets jammed right here. Be an easy play for Miller. One down here in the third. Matt Moore, who has been struggling lately, has a 5-run lead to work with. He'll be the number 9 hitter, Austin Romine, getting the start behind the plate today against a left-handed pitcher.
Well, you know, there's got to be sort of a weight taken off Matt Moore's shoulders. Every pitch right now does not mean the ball game, but still, the way he's been struggling, the Yankees might have a chance if they get on a roll here and get back in the ball game.
I'm sure the Yankees in that dugout just talking about chipping away, getting some base runners on and see what happens.
One thing with Austin Romine, as you saw, he steps in with a .277 batting average, which for somebody who hasn't played all that often, that's quite a good average. He's getting his share of hits.
Well, Kenny, we talked right at the beginning of the show, that little leg kick that he has now. I think he's found something with that because kind of got some nice rhythm in his swing, a little leg kick, and all of a sudden he's right on time and driving the ball a little bit more than I remember him. You put all that together and you get off to a good start and you have a confident hitter who's playing a little first base also, so become a valuable part of this team. Be 1-2 from Moore. Ground ball foul.
This is what Flash is talking about, a leg kick. It's a timing issue for hitters. You got to get that leg up. If you got to get it back down in order to be able to, shift your weight as you swing the bat through the zone.
Well, the one thing about the leg kick, if you can, as you said perfectly, just put that foot down, it's effective. Once you start falling forward, it's counterproductive, but Romine has it figured out, and another base hit as he rifles one into right field.
Third hit of the game for the Yankees, and he was on time that time. We're going to take a look at his swing one more time, and there's the look at the up, back down, and the follow through on the base hit.
As Romine takes his lead back to the top of the order, Ellsbury led off the game with a base hit for the Yankees. Yankees had something going in the first. Base hit for Ellsbury. Hicks had a base hit, and then Carlos Beltran hit into the double play, and Alex Rodriguez struck out.
Kind of remind me of last night's first inning. They got the first 2 men on base. Didn't score.
Little soft pop-up. Miller going back to be able to make the play.
Ellsbury's going to have to get a new bat after that. One was broken by Matt Moore.
You know, I did this last night with Chris Archer. When you see the numbers that are inflated, and we don't see these guys throw all the time, you look at velocity and stuff, and has the velocity gone down? For Archer, it has not. And for Matt Moore, the same thing. I mean, velocity is right there, and you can see he's breaking some bats, getting in on some hitters' hands. So the stuff is not the problem. It's more the off-speed pitch and the mix and matches of pitches that he's got to get better at.
Yeah, we mentioned last night, particularly with Archer, his base on balls per 9 innings has gone up.
Yeah.
Which means he's pitching from behind in counts more. And a lot of wasted pitches, fastballs that really were way out of the zone. No chance to get a hitter to chase him, and just elevating his pitch count.
Be Aaron Hicks for his second at bat. Good swing, fouls it off. Aaron had a base hit his first at bat. Batting average now at .207. The Yankees kind of waiting for him to get going from this side of the plate. There was a lot of talk in spring training about the at-bats that he was going to get against left-handed pitching.
Yankee hitting coaches Alan Cockrell and his assistant Marcus Thames. Seems that the curveball has been the go-to pitch for Matt Moore today. When he's been behind in counts, he's been able to drop that slow curve in, and it's a good thing that this has been working because he's been behind on a few hitters.
Yeah, if you look at that curveball, though, Kenny, that's a little get me over, get back in a count. We'll see maybe if he has the one that he can bounce right here to get a swing and a miss. We've seen a lot of fastballs in this count. The 1-2 to Hicks. He goes to curveball and bounces it. A nice play by Conger behind the plate.
You know, you might wonder at home, why would a pitcher throw something like it's more a hitter gets himself out. You know, it's hard enough to hit the strikes, even harder to hit the pitches out of the zone. And with Moore being ahead on the count, he had to pitch the waste, see if he could get Hicks to do just that.
It'll be a 2-2. Fastball up. So Austin Romine taking his lead off of first. He'll be on the move with 2 outs and a full count. Logan Morrison will play behind Romine.
If I'm Hicks, although Moore has gone to that breaking ball and gotten it over, as you call it, a get-me-over breaking ball, I think with Beltran coming up next, Hicks can just expect the fastball, and he fouled that one off. Let's see if he gets another one.
Well, a 5-run lead for Moore. Can afford to be aggressive with the fastball. Looks like it's going to be a fastball in to Aaron Hicks. See if he can get the head out. It's up in the zone. He pops it up. Logan Morrison calling for it and makes the play. So the Yankees scoreless through 3 here against Matt Moore. They trail 5-0. Popped out to end the third inning, and Kenny had talked about the roof here at Tropicana Field. Right there, you don't know where that ball is as we freeze it. Then you pick it up. Not the easiest thing to do here at Tropicana Field. Logan Morrison settles underneath it, but you could see when the play's over, he's looking up. Michael Pineda back out for the bottom of the third. Steven Souza Jr. first pitch swinging.
You get some strange things happening in this ballpark. We've seen fly balls and pop-ups go up into one of the rings and just stay up there.
This ball hit to right center field. Beltran on the move. He'll make the play. Follow Yankees Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet.
If the ball hits the ground rules here, say if a fly ball hits the C or D rings, it's a home run. And we've seen that happen too.
And Kenny, I played here for 5 years. Caught the first pitch in Devil Ray history. And I've seen a lot of strange things with the catwalks here. But I remember the one thing that the coaching staff was preaching early on, especially to the outfielders, once the ball went up and you tracked it, you couldn't take your eyes off it. Because once you went back to get it again, you would lose it. It took a little while to figure out Tropicana Field and the Dome. And I also remember engineers coming in and saying the catwalks will not be a factor.
Really?
They will not be in play. We've done all these studies, and they have been a factor. Ground ball to second. Castro up with it, and a couple of quick outs for Pineda.
Did they say what type of engineers they were?
I don't think they got rehired again.
Oh, let's go back. Let's take a look at John Flaherty in his days as a Devil Ray. Oh, LaTroy Hawkins. Everybody go home.
And the Rays win it 4-3.
You had that face. You had that look on your face. I do this every day.
Believe me, that wasn't the look on that face right there. That was probably, you know what, it's been a long day. Let's go home. Get a little barbecue going.
Yeah, that's right. We should wish everybody a happy and a safe Memorial Day. And if you're firing up the barbecues, put on an extra burger or two, flash, and I'll be over
we'll
after the game.
There we go.
And if you're lucky, we'll bring Meredith with us. There we go. That's what we're talking about.
Mike Matuk, foul ball straight back. So Pineda looking to have a 1-2-3 third inning.
He's kind of been true to form, huh? First 2 innings, struggled. 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Well, we showed you that graphic earlier, and it couldn't have explained Michael Pineda's year any better than today's game.
You know what, Kenny, though, this is an issue, though, for Pineda. I mean, because if you start thinking about this rotation, Sabathia's throwing the ball well. Tanaka's on fire. Eovaldi's been throwing the ball well. Nova's been solid.
Yep.
Here's your question mark. You thought maybe he answered some of those questions his last time out against the Oakland A's, but kind of taking a step backwards this afternoon. Be a 2-2, little pop-up. So it will be an easy 1-2-3 inning for Pineda, the first time he has done that this afternoon. The Yankees trail 5-0. They need to get something going offensively. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy all the things you love better with Time Warner Cable. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC today. And by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And by the Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Go beyond utility. Inside Tropicana Field, the Rays lead 5-0. Be 3-4-5 for the Yankees. Carlos Beltran to lead off here in the fourth. It'll be Beltran, Alex Rodriguez, Starlin Castro. Yankees had something going in the first, and Beltran grounded into a double play. And it stalled the momentum. This one is hammered down the left field line. Fair or foul? It is a fair ball, and Carlos Beltran, his 12th home run of the year, gets the Yankees on the board.
And when you look at this, man, it was a rocket to left field, and for Carlos Beltran, a milestone hit. The 25th 100 hit of his career. So his last two hits have been home runs.
Hot shot down to third. Longoria up with it.
That might be a tough one to get back as a souvenir. Right down the middle, and, well, over the years, he's been known to do this.
You know, Kenny, this tells you how locked in he is right here. A lot of hitters would pull that ball foul. Kept his hands inside. It stayed true down the line.
So congratulations to Carlos Beltran.
One down to be Starlin Castro. It's a hot shot to short. Miller, a nice play. Low throw, and Morrison comes up with it. A good play all the way around defensively for the Rays.
Yankees kind of hit the ball hard this inning. Miller's put his glove out, and the ball happened to go in it. This is a rocket off the bat of Castro. Castro's hit the ball well in this series. He had 2 rockets last night. Still looking for his first hit. Good play by Morrison at the other end. Castro's probably wondering, what do I have to do to get a base hit? Maybe I have to hit a broken bat single or something.
2 down will be Dustin Ackley playing first base this afternoon. He's 0 for 1. Takes a fastball down the middle. Dustin trying to get it going. Swung the bat well when he came over last year from Seattle, off to a slow start this year. There's that curveball for strike 2. The Rays pretty much playing Ackley straight up. It'll be the 53rd pitch of the afternoon for Matt Moore, heading the count 1-2 to Ackley. He's off speed again, and he misses. So Matt Moore, another one of those guys who had Tommy John surgery in 2014, trying to get back on track. And Ackley works underneath this one. See if it finds the seats, and it does.
Morrison with a good effort. Got to meet some of the fans over there by the Rays dugout. This kind of reminds me of I was in Cooperstown when Bob Uecker made his Hall of Fame speech, and he said he let so many pass balls go. He got to know the fans behind home plate, the season ticket holders, by name. First name basis.
2-2 to Ackley.
One of the funniest speeches I ever heard. He's standing. He went in as a broadcaster, of course, but And one of the first things he said, well, I really thought I should have gone in as a player.
And that was at the Cal Ripken induction?
Yeah.
Same year?
Yeah, I was there, yeah.
3-2 to Ackley. Moore comes right at him and powers that fastball right by him. But the Yankees get on the board. Hit number 2,500 from Carlos Beltran. His 12th home run of the year, a solo shot. Yankees trail 5-1. John Flaherty with Kenny Singleton and Meredith Marakovitz joining us in the booth. Nice to have you again, Meredith.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
You know, I look down there, I see Austin Romine behind the plate, and we talked a little bit about him with that new swing and the little leg kick he's got going. You got anything else on that?
Well, Joe Girardi was asked a lot about Austin Romine earlier today, really how different he looks as a player now as opposed to a year ago. And if you go back to spring training, he was not the favorite to make this team. Everybody kind of thought that Gary Sanchez would be that guy, and Gary Sanchez really pressed, tried to do too much, and just wasn't there offensively, so he was sent to the minors, and Austin Romine did wind up getting that gig. And Romine told me during that spring training that he was more relaxed this year. He wanted to be more even keel. He had been through what Gary Sanchez had been through. There had been disappointment, thinking he was very close and then didn't get the job. But he said coming into this one, he knew more of what to expect and to remain even keel throughout. And Joe Girardi really pointed to last year offensively, the fact that he got so many consistent at-bats at AAA, 338 to be exact. And he really worked closely with Marcus Timms, who's now the assistant hitting coach up here, but credited him a lot with helping him get his swing better. And up here, Romine told me earlier this year that Timms is not afraid to go up to him and say, you are off mechanically, you've got to snap out of it. And he doesn't let him get into bad habits for very long periods of time. So him, along with Alan Cockrell, have really played a big role. But defensively, the Yankees always knew that Romine could hang up here at this level.
I was just thinking what a luxury that is to have a hitting instructor with you a whole year. As Hank Conger drills one to left center field, this is going to be extra bases and a leadoff double for the Rays catcher.
Well, that's a first for Conger this year. His first extra base hit of the year. It's his 10th hit. The previous 9 had been singles. Wow, he's thrown a runner out today. Now he has his first extra base hit. A line drive into the gap in left center.
So Pineda had a 1-2-3 inning his last time, off to a tough start here in the fourth. And we saw the lineup this afternoon, Meredith. Brett Gardner not in there. I just assumed a left-handed pitcher. He gets the day off. But there's probably a lot more that goes into it with Joe Girardi and the decisions lately.
And you're really going to see more of that now that Alex Rodriguez is back. It kind of takes you to the beginning of this season where Joe Girardi kind of had to find a way to get Aaron Hicks in the mix. And it most often is against a lefty. Brett Gardner had just played 4 days in a row. They're in a stretch where they're playing 20 in a row. You knew they weren't going to play every day.
Geyer hits this well the other way. Beltran comes up with it.
And now he's going to need to find a way to get him some consistent at-bats. Aaron Hicks isn't where they would like him to be offensively right now. He got off to a rough start to the season, but when he saw that consistent playing time in the month of May, his numbers improved, his at-bats improved, and he himself admitted he was a little bit more comfortable. He was a guy coming in here that was used to playing every day, now kind of relegated to a role, not exactly knowing when you're going to be playing. It's tough on any young player, especially a guy that's moving to a new team and trying to find his way in his role here.
Brad Miller fouls off the first pitch. Now look at the helmets for the Rays, and they have that shiny finish. And yesterday, Meredith, you were talking about the new helmets for the Yankees and the matted finish.
Hey, Flash, it was all the rage, and there you see a good look at that one. Number 25, Mark Teixeira. You're not going to see that one in this series, hopefully in Toronto, as we told you. But Alex Rodriguez was pretty funny after the game. Obviously, the huge home run that he hit to left center field. He was asked about those new matte helmets, and he said, I like them. I think they're cool. And anything that makes a 40-year-old feel a little bit cooler, I'm all for it. So Alex Rodriguez in on the helmets as well.
Well, I heard Joe Girardi talking about a pregame as well. What was his take on it?
He was talking about now there's a lot of matte car finishes that are very popular, and he's okay with the change. He still thinks it sticks with the Yankees brand, and he mentioned some college football helmets that are kind of going the matte direction as well. So, a new time in baseball, and I was talking to Robbie Kakuza about it, and he said no other real surprises this season. Maybe towards the end of the season, should things go the Yankees' way, they might have a couple things up their sleeves.
So other teams are doing this too.
The Dodgers have done it, the Orioles have done it, a lot of Major League Baseball teams. And hey, we were in Arizona, and we saw they have about 17 new uniforms there as well.
You got to pay attention to the board there so you won't be, out of uniform.
Brad Miller heading the count 3-1 against Michael Pineda. Struggling again this afternoon. There's a good fastball in the outside corner.
And Flash, Pineda really has been a head-scratcher all season long. Coming into camp, they felt like he came in better shape. His arm was in great shape. He was extremely sharp, and that's why they rewarded him, making him the second guy lining up in the rotation, and they just have not seen the consistency. And Larry Rothschild has been very clear. They've been working in between starts, especially pitching out of the stretch. That's been a problem, the slider out of the stretch in particular. But overall, Michael Pineda and the Yankees can't really understand why, especially early in games, Pineda has had such troubles. He's a guy that's excited to get out there on the mound, that feels as though he's ready. It's not that he's not throwing enough warm-up pitches. It's not that he doesn't look good in the bullpen before the game and you can kind of foresee this happening. It's something happens with him. And today really pitched into some bad luck.
Yeah.
But overall this season, something happening with him early in games that he just can't seem to figure out.
Well, it'll be a 3-2 to Miller. Dots that fastball on the outside half, picking up a strikeout. So thank you very much, Meredith, and for stopping by. You got to check out Meredith Marakovich, Jack Curry, and Bob Lorenz on our post-game show on Yes following this one this afternoon.
Well, back-to-back pitches over the outside corner. Good enough for Jerry Lane. Maybe not so for Brad Miller. But Pineda picks up his third strikeout. And now there's two down.
Two down will be Evan Longoria. His 9th home run of the year against Pineda. A fastball right down the middle, and he took advantage of it. You see that fastball from Pineda right there has a little bit of cut at the end, Kenny, just finishing off the plate.
When he first came up, that was his natural fastball. Had a little cut to it.
Goes to the slider, 1-0 to get back in the count.
I think for me, the first sign of trouble for Pineda this year was towards the end of spring training. He pitched a game against the Cardinals over at Legends Field. At Steinbrenner Field, I should say, across the bay.
This hit hard right back up the middle. It's going to be a 2-out base hit and a 2-out RBI as Hank Conger scores and Longoria comes through again. Came into this one with terrible numbers against Michael Pineda, but is able to pick it up this afternoon. Joe Girardi's coming out to make a pitching change. Michael Pineda took a step back this afternoon. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Looks like it's going to be Nick Goody for the New York Yankees when we come back. Celebrate the 60th anniversary of Mickey Mantle's amazing Triple Crown season on Friday, June 24th, to get one of the hottest collectibles of the season. It's Mickey Mantle's Triple Crown bobblehead night, the second in the 2016 collectible series presented by AT&T for the first 18,000 guests in attendance. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
So Nick Goody comes in. He's going to be in charge of eating up some innings here. I was saying that, to me, the trouble for Pineda started at the tail end of spring training. He pitched a game against the Cardinals, and he gave up 3 home runs in that game against St. Louis. I think Stephen Piscotty hit 2 of them off. And it just seems the home run ball has been a big bugaboo for Pineda this year. You talking about that spinning slider?
Yeah.
And we saw it a couple of times today. And 2 out runs today. I mean, that's been a problem for the Yankees, not only Pineda this year. The opposition scoring with 2 outs in an inning. 4 of the 6 runs today scored with 2 outs against Pineda, including the 1 this inning and 2 last inning. Can't put that final guy, can't get him out and give your team a chance to hit.
We see Larry Rothschild there, the pitching coach. You wonder what's going through his mind. A little check swing. Ackley comes up to it, the flip to Goody, and he makes the play. So Pineda's struggles continue this afternoon. Evan Longoria got him for an RBI base hit. Nick Goody comes in. He's able to make the play. A little check swing, ground ball. And the Yankees are trailing 6-1.
Best way to start your weekday. Join Suki Scott and the Pix 11 News team. Linda Church has the weather, and Caitlin Monte's traffic report keeps you in the know. Mornings from 6 to 9 on the Pix 11 Morning News, where every story hits home. And Chase Headley had a base hit his first time up. Yankees are down 6-1, trailing by 5 here in the top of the 5th inning. Matt Moore still in there for the Rays. And a curve hangs a little high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Headley, after the base hit in the second inning, was tossed out stealing, a play that was reviewed and saw that he lost contact with second base, and a tag was still applied, and he was out. So what looked like a stolen base goes down as a caught stealing. Uphill battle for the Yankees this afternoon here against the Rays at Tropicana Field. Almost immediately, Rays scored 5 runs in the first 2 innings. That's a curve, and that's in there. 2-2. All smiles in the Rays dugout. There's their manager, Kevin Cash. Full count now on Chase Headley. Bottom third of the Yankees order here in the 5th inning. Headley, Gregorius, and Romine. Here is Didi on deck. The payoff pitch, and it is high and away, and it's a leadoff walk. And that is the first walk handed out by Matt Moore this afternoon. Let's go back in time with Kevin Cash. As we told you, the youngest manager in the major leagues. Tampa Northside won the Little League World Series. Gaither High School in Tampa, 3rd team All-State. College World Series with Florida State under Mike Martin. And 2-time World Series champ with the Red Sox in 07 and with the Yankees in 09. So it's been quite a career, and he gets to manage, well, I guess you could say in his hometown area. Let's put it that way.
Kenny, I feel really old because I was part of the rookie preparation program as an alumni player, and I had Kevin Cash in my discussion group way back when, before he made it to the big leagues. He was a kid in the minor leagues and, you know, full of questions and excitement. A minor league catcher who was going to get his opportunity in the big leagues and had a nice career, and obviously extending it here in Tampa.
Here's Gregorius. Took a strike. Takes another one. It's 0-2. In 09, 10 games for the Yankees and earned himself a World Series ring. I'm certain there was an infinity there with Mr. Cash, a young Mr. Cash back in the day.
Well, let's put it this way. When a young minor league catcher comes up to you and wants to pick your brain about what it takes to be a big league receiver, I mean, that's all it took. I mean, we got along fantastically.
Didi hits a high fly ball to center field from Matuk. And he puts it away, and there's one out. Let's go back in 2009 and take a look at Kevin Cash in a Yankee uniform.
I like the number that he's wearing, too, number 17.
He said, give me that number.
We have a lot in common. A pull hitter, hit the ball to the left side. Kevin always played quality defense. That's what he was known for. A smart guy behind the plate, called a great game.
And now the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays. And we mentioned yesterday, 16 players in the major leagues older than Kevin Cash, the Rays manager, who's 38 years old, by the way. Still a young man. Pitches swung on and missed by Romine. Strike 1. Austin had a single to right field his first time. Average up to 292. Knocking on the door 300. Throw to first. And Headley just got back. Well, you don't want to get picked off when you're down by 5 runs. It's kind of hard to explain to your manager. Outside for a ball. I can recall being picked off by Bruce Hurst at Fenway Park. I came back to the dugout, and Earl Weaver, this is not exactly how he said it. He said, what happened? And I said, What, you missed it? I got picked off. And I just walked away from him. I didn't feel like talking about it. Off-speed pitch is inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Austin Romine. He always had a way of letting you know where you stood.
Yeah, but I got to believe you had a lot of equity in the bank with Earl Weaver, right? You didn't have to deal with that too much.
I walked away from it. Told him, leave me alone.
Yep.
Felt bad enough as it was. That's outside ball 3. 3 balls and a strike.
Well, this should be one of those pitches you were talking about earlier, Kenny. 3-1 count. You got Ellsbury on deck. 5-run lead. You'd expect Austin Romine to get a fastball in this count. Fastball away.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2. The count is going full. With the Yankees down by 5 runs, Headley's not going anywhere. Three-two pitch to Romine, and he swings and misses. Strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Badmore. Hey, Flash, we have a chance today to speak with our entire audience. It's because we're on Pix 11. We thank everybody for tuning in. If you're in a Comcast area, you could miss the entire season on Yes. If you want to see the Yankees, you'll need to switch to an alternate provider now, like DirecTV, Fios, Frontier, PlayStation View, or Sling TV. And we appreciate it if you did. So 2 outs. Headley with a leadoff walk, still at first base. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury, who's 1 for 2. And he'll take a curve. That has been Badmore's pitch of the day, the curveball. He's dropped it in there time and time again. Ellsbury with the 1 for 2, average up to 286. He, too, is inching up on 300. And he's been reaching base with regularity in this month of May. Been on base 31 times in 72 plate appearances. Good swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
That curveball again, Kenny can drop it in for a strike, and then when he needs a swing and a miss, a little bit further down in the zone.
So Matt Moore trying to get through 5 innings here. And he'll check on Headley at first base. Remember, the Rays have lost each one of Moore's last 6 starts. Their pitching was supposed to carry their team this year. It has not been doing so. Curve is in there for call, strike 3. 2 strikeouts here in the 5th. The Yankees leave a runner on to the bottom half of the inning. The Rays lead 6-1. Are brought to you by the new JetBlue card. And wow, 10-9 final, a wild one up at Rogers Center. We understand that Craig Kimbrell blew a save for the Red Sox in that game. Kansas City, boy, another wild ball game. A lot of run scoring. Chicago Cubs, they win again. The Orioles are getting waxed in Cleveland. Bottom of the fifth, Oakland over Detroit. And our final score there, Milwaukee, 2-1 lead over Cincinnati in the fifth inning. The Yankees cannot take advantage if they don't come back in this one. The Red Sox losing today. Nick Goody in, and his first pitch to Logan Morrison is fouled off. Here in the bottom of the fifth inning, Goody came on for Pineda last inning, got the final out. Pineda, by the way, 3 2/3, 6 runs, 9 hits, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. Morrison today is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Also had a run batted in the first inning. Goody deals, and it's a little low.
Well, Morrison playing first base. We talked about an X-ray first baseman, James Loney, yesterday. Found a new home today.
Yeah, the Mets signed him. How about that? Next pitch to Morrison is lined down the right field line. He's been a hot hitter lately. He's percolating a little bit more. This is going to be his second hit of the day. He's in the second with a 2-base hit. So a leadoff double for Logan Morrison.
Yeah, you have hitters who go through stretches where they see the ball well, they get mistakes, and when they get them, they do not miss them. Logan Morrison in the middle of one of those stretches right now, a slider that just stays up, and he takes advantage of it, hammering it into right field.
And we understand that James Loney tweeted out yesterday, "I heart New York," to let everybody know he was going to the Mets. So he was working in AAA in the Padres organization. Lucas Duda out with a fracture in his back.
Yep.
And the Mets looking for a first baseman. And they pick up James Loney, who started the year with the Rays. Here's Steven Souza Jr. He's reached on the fielder's choice and flying out to right, and he swings and misses strike one. Flashy said he likes to swing at that first pitch.
Over 50% of the time. Luis Sessa getting ready again. Shouldn't take him long. This Rays ball club is pretty simple. If you make your pitches and you stay out of fastball counts, you should have success. If you don't, they will make you pay with the long ball.
As we mentioned, they're kind of going against the grain. Last year they really struggled for offense. This year they're leading the league in home runs. Last year their pitchers were under siege. They had to try and hold the opposition down. This year the pitchers aren't pitching that well. That's upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Goody out of Louisiana State University. Young man from Orlando, Florida. Three balls and a strike on Souza Jr.
Well, here's that fastball count I was talking about. 3-1 to a hitter who's got plenty of power.
Although Souza Jr. of late hasn't been applying that power. He's 1 for his last 14. Draws a walk. 2 on, nobody out here in the fifth. And I think Joe Girardi's going to go to the pen. He's going to try and keep this game under control, maybe give his offense a chance. So Nick Goody is gone. Luis Sessa will be coming on. Brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Luis Cessa started the year with the Yankees, went down to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, now back in the big leagues. He's appeared in 2 games. This will be his 3rd. 3 innings, couple of strikeouts, has not walked a batter. And opponents hitting just 182. Worked as a starter down with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Made 5 starts down there. Just his 3rd major league appearance. The Yankees got him from Detroit in the trade for Justin Wilson. His first pitch, fastball, 94 miles an hour, off the outside corner for ball 1 to Corey Dickerson. Dickerson has a single, a ground out, and a run batted in today's game. Broken bat single in the 1st inning off Michael Pineda. 2 on, nobody out here in the 5th. And that's in there for a strike, 1-1. So Flash, you would figure Cessa is stretched out. He can certainly eat up some innings today if he's able to keep these Rays off the board. Give the Yankees a chance. Their offense to get going. Yankees are down by 5 here in the 5th.
This is one of those middle relief opportunities where you can impress a coaching staff and a ball club.
2 balls and a strike.
Throwing some zeros up there, giving your lineup a chance to fight back.
Yankees winning yesterday, 4-1. Great pitching by Masahiro Tanaka. Home runs from Carlos Beltran and Alex Rodriguez. High pop-up. Short center field. Let's see. It looks like it's going to be Ellsbury. Yeah, he's there. He's got it. 1 out. The runners stay put. So Dickerson and mini Paul O'Neill there. Takes it out on the Gatorade. And it'll bring up Mikey Matuk. Matuk is struck out and popped up. He's 0 for 2. We told you he recently returned from the minors. He's 1 for 11. He's up here with 2 on and 1 out in the 5th. Ball's hit well to center field, chasing Ellsbury back. Looks like he has a beat on it. The center fielder has it. Morrison's going to tag and head for 3rd, and going to 2nd is Souza Jr. So the runners move up. Matuk hit that one almost to the warning track in center.
Souza, one of those players, you watch him play with all that power, Kenny, impresses you, and then you watch him get down the line. You watch him take an extra base there.
Yep.
He has some speed.
Pretty good defender.
Yeah.
If he starts to put it together with the bat, I mean, you know, consistent 20, 25 home runs and, you know, 85 to 100-plus runs batted, he's going to be a heck of a find for these Rays. The tools are there. Hank Conger. 2 outs, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Conger is flied to right and doubled to the gap in left center and scored a run. That was last inning. And he takes a pitch for a ball. Conger's first extra base hit of the year. Here's what you're talking about, Flash.
Yeah, good read. It's that deep fly ball. You can pick him up and put him down.
Breaking ball from Cessa's in there for a call strike. Conger spent some time with the Astros, came up with the Angels. Off the corner for a ball. When Conger was drafted by the Angels, it was in the 1st round. He was all set to go to USC on a baseball scholarship, but he told his parents, if I get drafted in the 1st round, it's going to be a different story. In the dirt, good block by Romine. The runners have to hold.
Well, Joe Girardi has talked about Romine. They've never had a doubt that he could catch in the big leagues defensively. He's above average. Nice job using his chest protector there. Good angle back towards home plate, making sure you deaden that ball right in front of the plate.
The 3-1 pitch, and Conger hits a high fly ball deep right field. Back goes Beltran, and this is gone. Hank Conger with a 3-run homer, and it's now 9-1 Tampa Bay. As the Rays score 3 more runs with 2 outs in an inning. For Conger, his first home run of the year.
The breakout day for Conger. Threw a base runner out, hit an opposite field double, and now he gets a 3-1 fastball right down the middle. And we talked about it. These Rays hitters, you get in a fastball count and they get their pitch. They have plenty of power, and Conger is first of the year, having a big day.
His first 2 extra base hits of the year. Back to the top of the order, and Brandon Guyer. And that pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
You know, that's one of those pitches, Kenny, if you're Romine behind the plate and Sessa out on the mound, you're saying just a fastball away to a hitter who's been struggling all year. And just yanked it middle of the plate, and he was able to get the bat head out.
Popped up. Let's see if there's a play. Long run for Romine, and also Ackley, who makes the play. And that'll do it for the Rays here in the 5th, but they add 3 more runs on Hank Conger's first home run of the year. Next Picks telecast will be tomorrow when the Yankees continue this series with the Rays. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. right here on New York's Home for Baseball, Picks 11. And that'll be Nathan Eovaldi for the Yankees and Jake Odorizzi going for the Rays in tomorrow's finale. Aaron Hicks will lead it off for the Yankees in the 6th. Carlos Beltran to follow, then Alex Rodriguez, 2, 3, and 4 for the Yankees. 1 for 2 is Hicks on the afternoon, a single in the first inning. Then he popped out. And he'll take a pitch from Matt Moore, and that's downstairs for ball 1. Well, it's been all Rays this afternoon. They lead by a score of 9-1 here in the 6th inning. Two balls and no strikes to Aaron Hicks. Matt Moore, the luxury of an 8-run lead here in the 6th inning. Plenty of offense for his team today against the Yankee pitching. There's a call strike, knee high on the outside corner, 2-1. 77 pitches, 50 of them have been strikes.
It's kind of a big deal for Matt Moore getting into the 6th inning. Since he had that Tommy John surgery, 13 of his 21 starts have been fewer than 5 innings. I mentioned earlier, had Tommy John a couple of years ago, trying to get back to the form that we saw his rookie year.
3-1 pitch, and Hicks drills it high and deep to left field, but he's too quick. Had the distance, but not the direction. And now the count is full at 3-2. Yeah, Matt Moore last year struggled. They sent him to the minor leagues. He came back in September and was very strong in September, one of the best pitchers in the league the last month of the season, and then got off to a good start this year. The Rays won his first 3 starts, but now they've lost his last 6, but he's got a good chance of winning this one today with the Yankees down by 8 runs here in the 6th inning and breaking that string. Full count now on Aaron Hicks.
It'll be interesting to see what this pitch is. Hicks hit that long foul ball, a 3-2 count with an 8-run lead. You should come right at him.
He does, and it's outside, maybe a little high as well, and it's a leadoff walk. 2nd inning in a row, the Yankees have had a leadoff man on via the base on balls. And those are the only 2 walks that Matt Moore's given up today. Carlos Beltran represents the Yankees offense this afternoon. His 12th home run of the year, and he drilled it to left field just inside the foul pole. And also as a milestone hit, his 25th 100 hit in the major leagues. Takes one outside for a ball, becomes the 4th Puerto Rican player or native of Puerto Rico to have as many as 2,500 hits. Roberto Clemente, 3,000. Pudge Rodriguez, 2,844. And Roberto Alomar, 2,724. Curve misses. 2 balls and no strikes. So 2 of those 3 are Hall of Famers, and Pudge Rodriguez is coming up.
You know what? You're bringing me back to my winter ball days. I only played 1 year in Puerto Rico after the '92 season, but that was like an all-star team over there. Pudge Rodriguez was playing, the Alomar brothers.
Yep. This ball is popped up. Morrison calling for it in foul territory, and Beltran is retired on the pop-up. So you only played the 1 year winter ball?
1 year.
Yeah, I only played 1 year. I did go to Instruction League a couple of times, but only 1 year winter ball. But it was a fun year. I really enjoyed it in Puerto Rico that year. I learned more Spanish than I did in school.
You know what I loved about the experience? Nick Leyva was my manager. And when the American players went over there, he said, listen, when the Latin players come to the United States, they're forced to learn English.
Yeah.
You guys are now in Puerto Rico. You have to learn Spanish.
Yeah. You know what? And it's easier to learn because you hear it all the time. Here's Alex Rodriguez looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He struck out and grounded to third. Alex with a long home run to left center field last night. I think I mentioned earlier it was 441 feet. He just drilled it. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
He's had some trouble with that breaking ball from Matt Moore this afternoon.
The Rays have 9 runs on 11 hits. The Yankees have 1 run on 5. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 blows it by him. 5 strikeouts now for Matt Moore. 2 of them, Alex Rodriguez.
Well, it's just textbook pitching. You throw the curveball down in the zone, then you follow it up with a high fastball, mid-90s. Even if you don't get the swing and a miss, you're changing eye levels a little bit.
Man at first is Aaron Hicks. 2 outs now. Starlin Castro's grounded out twice as short. The second one he was robbed of a hit by Miller. Low and inside, ball 1. Castro hitting .256. As I mentioned, he's hit the ball hard at least 3, maybe 4 times in this series. Does not have a hit. high, towering pop-up. Who's going to make the play? It's going to be Conger, the catcher, who's tripped up by Morrison, but he hangs on. What a day for Hank Conger. Good defense and some powerful offense. The end of 5.5, 9-1 Rays. Brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And the summary will tell you it's been mostly Rays. They've scored in every inning but one. Matt Moore has gone the distance, 6 innings, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts. Michael Pineda struggled, particularly in the first 2 innings. 9 hits in 3 2/3. The good news, he didn't walk anybody. Evan Longoria, 2 for 2 with a home run and 4 runs batted in for the Rays. Hank Conger broken out offensively as well. Carlos Beltran's now out of the game as Ronald Torreyes will take over in right field. Torreyes primarily an infielder, but a chance to give Carlos Beltran the rest of the afternoon off. Get him back in the lineup tomorrow afternoon. Here's Brad Miller, and the count is 1-1 as Luis Cessa pours a fastball in there. Miller today has doubled, tripled, scored both times, and has also struck out. That's a good breaking ball over the outside corner, knee high, and it's 1-2. '97. Plenty of pop of the glove of Austin Romine on that fastball by Cessa. Ball is popped up. Aaron Hicks is there. And he'll put it away, and there's one down in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Miller's gone. 2 for 4 in the afternoon to bring up Evan Longoria, who's had a big, big day. He and Conger been the primary offense for the Rays today. Longoria with a sacrifice fly, a 2-run home run, and a run-scoring single. 4 runs batted in on the afternoon. He's also found time to, score a run. Of course he scored on the homer. That pitch is high for a ball. Have to like Cessa's arm, 95 miles an hour.
He's got a good arm. Looks like he's in control of his off-speed pitches, too. This is one pitch to Conger, kind of leaked back over the middle of the plate.
Off the end of the bat, into the air to right field. Torreyes is there, and that is out number 2. Just not used to seeing Torreyes in the outfield.
You know what the key for Sessa is? And you see Torreyes making that easy play out in right field. Gaining the trust of his pitching coach and his manager that when he comes out of that bullpen, he's going to be able to throw the ball over the plate. Biggest thing for a young relief pitcher in the major leagues is to gain that trust of the coaching staff that they know what they're going to get.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Steve Pearce, who he too has had a good afternoon offensively. Single, double, and grounded out. Pitch is in there for a called strike. I was just looking at Torreyes in the outfield. He's got an outfielder's glove on today. That glove looked like it's half as big as he is. This pitch is lines out as Pearce lines out to Headley, and that'll do it. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. It's on to the 7th. Yankees are down big time.
In-game box score is brought to you by ChevyOffers.com. 5 hits in there for the Yankees. The big one, a solo home run from Carlos Beltran, hit number 2,500 in his career. The Yankees on the wrong end of this one, 9-1 Rays as we start the top of the 7th inning. And Matt Moore back out there. Pours a first pitch strike into Dustin Ackley. Ackley 0 for 2. Taylor Motter taking over at third base for Evan Longoria, who's done enough damage today. We'll get a couple of innings off. Going to be Ackley, Headley, and Didi Gregorius.
Pitch count up to 90. You might see the Rays bullpen starting to get busy in a little while here as Moore approaches the 100 pitch mark.
Well, Jim Hickey, the pitching coach for the Rays, has to be happy with what he's seen this afternoon, as that's a high fastball. Conger able to hold on. Another strikeout for Matt Moore. Longtime pitching coach of the Rays.
I used to hate that. Foul tip it and the catcher holds it.
Conger's doing it all today, Kenny.
Yeah,
you can't stop him.
This is it. This might be the turnaround game for him this year.
Drops that curveball in for a strike. Bring up Jim Hickey and the pitching coach and the pitching staff for the Rays. You get Chris Archer, who I thought threw the ball well last night. You get him going in the right direction. Matt Moore going in the right direction. And you have a chance to get on a roll as Headley works underneath it. Pop up to the middle of the field. Nobody can see it. That's going to drop in there for a base hit. We've seen a bunch of pop-ups, some trouble with tracking the baseball, and Chase Headley's going to pick up a gift hit.
You know, I'm not so sure. I thought Pierce had it, but maybe he thought Miller was going to call him off. Because he's not looking up towards the roof as if he He lost it. Now you can see Morrison. See, he says, I got it. But now he thinks that Miller's going to make the play. And neither one of them do. And it falls in. Now, I don't know if Miller said anything, but Pierce might have heard something. How'd they score that? Base hit?
Base hit.
Oh.
Chase Headley will take it. He's 2 for 2 on the afternoon.
Christmas comes early.
Yeah. One downer to be Didi Gregorius. Pop out and a fly out.
Wow. You can see how limber Gregorius is. If that had happened to me, I'd still be trying to get up.
95 pitches for Matt Moore. He has thrown 110 pitches in a game this year. But he's starting to lose it a little bit here in the 7th.
Just look at this. Yeah, just drag me off the field.
It'll be a 3-0 pitch to Gregorius. You expect him to be taking here, down by 8. And there's a walk. So a gift base hit, now a walk. Rays bullpen, we're going to start to see some action down there.
Third walk handed out by Moore. Kevin Cash is Eddie Romero, hard-throwing left-hander up. Jim Hickey out to the mound. Just give Romero a few minutes to warm up there as he talks things over with Matt Moore.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Jim Hickey done with his conversation. Hank Conger wants a few more words. And the Austin Romine, number 9 hitter for the Yankees, has a base hit, and he struck out his last at bat. And again, there's that big curveball for strike 1. Kenny, I have it written down here that he throws 21% curveballs. I got to believe he's thrown more than 21% today.
Definitely.
Been a good pitch for him.
Between he and Conger, they have stayed with it.
Well, this would be the 100th pitch coming for Matt Moore. Guy who had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. You know you're not going to extend him too much. And there's a curveball pulled foul.
Looked like Romine was looking for that one to hit it hard, but a few feet foul. Oh, there's a fan for life. Always like the highlights when the youngster gets the ball and throws it back. Throws it back.
Headley off second, Gregorius off of first. It'll be a 1-2 to Austin Romine.
Went with a changeup.
Matt Moore, who has struggled over his last 6 outings, in total control today. Only the solo home run from Carlos Beltran. There's that curveball, ground ball the other way. It's going to be another base hit for Romine. Headley around third. He will score. So Austin Romine continues his hot hitting. The Yankees chipping away, down 9-2 now.
Romine 2 for 3. Let's see if Kevin Cash. No, he's not moving out of the dugout as of yet. I guess with a left-handed hitter and Ellsbury coming up, he's going to let him go.
Ellsbury led off the game with a base hit. Is 0 for 2 since then. Struck out his last at bat. The Yankees trying to chip away at this lead. Rays 9, Yankees 2, 1 out in the 7th. And another curveball and another strike.
Oh, here's where Matt Moore will probably try and expand the strike zone. You might see that curveball down low and away. Try and get Ellsbury to follow it across home plate.
And we talked about it earlier. Left-handers doing a good job against Matt Moore. Batting average over 340 coming into this game. Which kind of surprises me, Kenny, because that curveball has been better than I thought it was going to be today.
Yeah. He's been able to throw it for strikes, which means he should be able to throw it for a non-strike.
Yep. Let's see what he does here. 0-2 on Ellsbury. Goes with the curveball and the ground ball foul.
He threw it for a strike.
Ellsbury digs in and will do it again. An 0-2 from Matt Moore, and he goes upstairs with a fastball. And still has plenty of gas on it, 94 miles an hour on that pitch. There's Kevin Cash, manager, Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, talking it over. Mentioned the most pitches he has thrown this year is 110 in a game.
Yeah, this might be it, Ellsbury.
1-2 goes with the fastball. Base hit the other way. Gregorius comes around third. Joe Espada's going to hold him. So the bases are loaded for Aaron Hicks. The Yankees trying to chip away at this lead.
Ellsbury's second hit of the game, and still not going to the bullpen is Kevin Cash. Ellsbury shoots one through the hole. And with the Yankees down by so many runs, Joe Espada says, hey, we're not taking any chances. So Gregorius will be held at third.
Bases loaded, full of Yankees. Kevin Cash going to stick with Matt Moore.
This kind of surprises me.
Aaron Hicks, 1 for 2 with a walk his last at bat. And again, a curveball for strike one. Gregorius at third, Romine at second, Ellsbury on first. Matt Moore trying to work his way out of some trouble here in the 7th inning. Rays lead 9-2. See the numbers. Batting right-handed, only 146.
1 for 2 today.
Well, the Yankees brought Hicks in thinking he'd be able to hit from the right side against left-handed pitching.
Now you got to remember that Beltran's out of the game. Torreyes is on deck.
Gregorius off of third. Austin Romine taking his lead off of second. And Jacoby Ellsbury has a couple of hits this afternoon. It'll be a 1-2 to Aaron Hicks. The 111th pitch of the ball game, and it's a fastball up and another strikeout from Matt Moore. Looked like Aaron Hicks helped him out a little bit. And here comes manager Kevin Cash. A little sprint to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. And Kevin Cash has to be very happy with what he's seen from his young left-handed pitcher. He's going to lead to a standing ovation as Matt Moore got the job done this afternoon. The Rays lead 9-2. Carlos Beltran last inning. He'll get his first at bat against any Romero, hard-throwing lefty. Quickly jumps ahead with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, he does have a good fastball. Speaking of Romero, he had a string of 7 consecutive scoreless appearances broken his last outing. Giancarlo Stanton touched him up for a home run. I saw that homer. It was a rocket, man. He hit a laser.
.289 batting average, 4 RBIs for Torreyes, trying to add on to that number here.
Done a good job off the bench for the Yankees, particularly defensively. We've seen him at second, short, and third. Today in right field. But this would have been Beltran's spot.
Yep. 1-1 from Romero, misses up.
Of course, Joe Girardi made the move with the Yankees down 9-1. And not knowing that when Beltran's spot came up again, the bases would be loaded.
Be a 2-1 to Torreyes. Misses down. Alex Rodriguez waiting on deck. Bases full of Yankees. You'd expect Torreyes to get a good pitch to hit here. Hard throwing lefty. Look for a fastball down and put a good swing on it. Don't swing at anything up out of the zone. Ooh, questionable pitch. Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, gives it to Romero.
The Yankees, they would have loved to get Alex Rodriguez up there with the bases loaded. Let's take a look at the. Oh, my goodness. Borderline, to say the least.
Well, we will have some action on the bases. Full count, 2 outs. Everybody will be on the move. It'll be a 3-2 to Torreyes. Fastball misses badly. Torreyes will have a walk and an RBI, and it's now 9-3 Rays. And now, Kenny, you get your will. Alex Rodriguez up at the plate with the bases loaded.
Yeah, chance to make it interesting. I had noticed that Romero had walked 7 batters in 17 innings, so he can be a little wild, as sometimes hard throwers can be. This is last night, right down the middle from Chris Archer. I mean, if we weren't indoors, that might have still been going. A rocket off the bat of Alex Rodriguez. 56 home runs against the Rays, more than any other player, opposing player in history. You see David Ortiz knocking on the door of 50.
You got to imagine Alex Rodriguez standing on deck during the Torreyes at bat, sizing up Romero and that fastball. It's all he threw. Most all-time 25 grand slams. Get ready for number 1 and turn it loose. Romine off a third. Ellsbury off a second, and Torreyes taking his lead off a first. 9-3 Rays. Romero goes off speed.
This is the last thing you're looking for. He drops his slider in there, 88 miles an hour. But he does throw upwards of 95 plus.
Alex had a tough time against Matt Moore. A couple of strikeouts, 0 for 3. A big spot here. Fastball fouled off.
There it is, 98 miles an hour.
Well, Joe Girardi thinking about it. One swing of the bat, his ball club right back in this thing. And Hank Conger wants to make sure they're on the same page. Crowd starting to get into it here at Tropicana Field. Being 0-2 to Alex Rodriguez. He goes with the fastball, and again he misses badly. Always a dilemma for a catcher behind the plate when you have somebody throwing this hard. Do you go off speed? And if you get beat, you're thinking I threw his second or third best pitch.
They're going to go out, and Conger's going to talk it over with Romero.
Kevin Cash looking on. His starting pitcher, Matt Moore, got it done. Now he hands it over to the bullpen. Ramiro ahead in the count, 1-2. Goes with that high fastball, and he gets Alex Rodriguez to chase. Alex Rodriguez, a tough afternoon, struck out 3 times. Ramiro walks 1, but he also picks up a big strikeout. Is brought to you by ChevyOffers.com. In the middle of the lineup, jumps out at you. Miller, 2 for 4. Longoria, 2 for 3. Home run, 4 RBI. Steve Pearce, couple of hits. Morrison, couple of hits. And then you can't forget about Hank Conger, the bottom of that lineup. Double and a home run. There's Alex Rodriguez. Looking for that one swing of the bat. Chased the fastball up in the zone, and Ramiro won the battle. Bottom of the 7th, 9-3 Rays. Luis Cessa back at it.
You know, sometimes you're looking for a fastball and you get it and you just unload. And it was close enough that he thought he could hit it, but as you saw, it was out of the strike zone.
Morrison hits a ground ball to the right side. Castro stays down. Easy play. Oh, one down, it'll be Steven Souza Jr. He walked in the 5th. He scored a run, 0 for 2. Cessa doing a nice job throwing strikes out of the bullpen. Gets ahead quickly on Souza Jr.
Now, one thing he's done, he's helped Joe Girardi kind of limit the use of the bullpen today. I know there's been 2 pitchers coming out of the pen. And we mentioned Cessa was working as a starter down in AAA. And, you know, depending how things go here, he might be able to finish the game for the Yankees and kind of save the bullpen a bit. We'll see. Only thrown 25 pitches to this point. If the Yankees don't come back and win this one, got a semi-rested bullpen, trying for 2 out of 3 and a series win tomorrow.
You know, these are the situations that veteran players pay attention to when you have a young kid coming out of the pen. The ability to throw strikes, the ability to eat up some innings. And obviously, they're not high-leverage situations, but you gain some credibility in that clubhouse.
They kind of look at you a little differently, yeah.
Fastball right down the middle, catches Souza Jr. looking.
Well, he knew it too, didn't he?
Kind of like what you see. Good fastball, explosive curve.
So that's his first strikeout. A little movement on that one as it dots the outside corner. Just caught a hint of it. Souza Jr. back to the dugout. First strikeout for Cessa.
2 down will be Corey Dickerson. He had a base hit and an RBI against Michael Pineda in that rough first inning. 1 for 3. Cessa on a little roll right now.
Well, this is kind of the way that the younger pitchers got their experience coming up from the minor leagues. They were used in relief, as Flash said, and not the high leverage situations. Used to show well. The manager would use them in tougher situations. And eventually, if you pitch well enough, get a spot start here or there.
Mm-hmm.
A scheduling conflict, or maybe a doubleheader because of rain. You get a start in one of those games, you pitch well, then they start thinking about you as a regular in the rotation. Sort of like moving your way up the totem pole.
He's retired 6 in a row, standing on the mound, waiting, ready to go. 1-2 to Dickerson, misses just off the plate. You're right, Ken. He's got a little bit of movement there.
Yeah, there is. I can see why the Yankees liked him. They got him in a trade for Justin Wilson. He and Chad Green, who we saw in Arizona, and although Green didn't fare as well as was sent back to the minors.
Ground ball, it's going to be a fair ball, and it's going to be extra bases for Dickerson. Torreyes up with it. And a 2-out double for Corey Dickerson.
The game that we saw that Green pitched in Arizona, there was a little something there. It's just Need a little more experience. And we're going to see Dickerson. This is coming right at you. Right down the line, right over the bag. Dickerson with an extra base hit. 17, make that 18 of his 29 hits this year. Extra base hits. He's on second with a double.
It's 12 hits for the Rays in this ball game. 2 down would be Mikey Matuk. 0 for 3, had a deep fly out in the 5th inning. Breaking ball for strike 1.
Mm-hmm.
Rays lead 9-3, second game of a 3-game set. Yankees will finish up tomorrow afternoon, fly to Toronto. Is that good fastball hit hard and it'll be a foul ball?
Romine with a quick, hey, let's try and keep it away from the middle. Probably saying your head on the count, maybe expand the zone and get this guy out. Love it when kids get baseballs. Goes right in the room on your dresser.
And a 1-2 from Sessa, and that slider down. He gets a swing and a miss. Romine blocks it. The throw to first. So a couple of impressive innings from Luis Sessa. Yankees trail 9-3.
Time for the line scoring is brought to you by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. 9-3, 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Tampa Bay. 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the New York Yankees. Starlin Castro is going to lead it off against Eddie Romero here in the top of the 8th inning, and the first pitch is in there for a call strike. Castro today is 0 for 3. Grounded out twice and fouled out to the catcher, Hank Conger. He's in the hole now, 0-2 after the swing and a miss. Castro, Ackley, Headley for the Yankees in the 8th inning. They're in a deep hole. There's 6 runs down here as we get to the last 2 innings. Quick pitch is in there for call strike 3. How about that? Look at Castro just staring out there at Romero. He quick pitched him.
He caught him. He threw a couple of off-speed pitches the first two. And like you said, the little quick pitch, and he freezes him with a fastball. Castro not ready to go.
Pitch to Ackley is in there for a call strike. You don't see that very often, but it can be very effective. Remember Joel Peralta?
Yeah.
With the Rays? He used to use that. That pitch misses 1-1. You're just staring in for the side, and all of a sudden you throw the ball. Ball's hit on the ground and through the right side. Ackley has his first hit of the afternoon. He's now 1 for 4. His first hit allowed by Romero. Headley's had a good afternoon. He's been on base 3 times. 2 singles, a run scored, and a walk. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Today's attendance, 20,188 here at Tropicana Field this holiday weekend. Good swing, fouled it back. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-2. Eddie Romero in relief of Matt Moore, who went 6 2/3, allowed 3 runs, 8 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Romero deals. That's way high, way outside. 1-2. And he throws hard. 98 miles an hour. To me, it doesn't look like a comfortable at bat. You can hear the pop of Conger's glove, and the count is 2-2.
Well, you can see a lot of similarities between Chapman and Romero. Left-handed, obviously, upper 90s.
Chapman throws more strikes. We mentioned that yesterday. He and Miller, 73% of their pitchers are strikes. And that's the highest rate among relievers. Foul back by Headley. There's Xavier Cedeno, another left-hander up in the bullpen. Steady diet of lefties for the Yankees today if Cedeno gets into the game. Full count on Chase Headley. Trying to reach base for the 4th time today. Gregorius would be next. The 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground and through the left side for a base hit. Ackley moves up 90 feet. He's at second, and Headley 3 for 3 with a walk this afternoon.
Well, as a hitter, the more fastballs you see in an at-bat, the more confidence you gain. The timing gets a little better.
So Conger out to talk to Romero, with Gregorius coming to the plate. And there's 1 out here in the 8th inning. Yankees trying to inch a little closer. Didi walked and scored last inning. It's also popped out, flied out. Check swing, foul back to the screen. Strike 1. Foul back just to our left. Thought you had a chance maybe, didn't you? 0-2. Line drive over second into right center field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Being waved home is Ackley. He will score, and it's now a 9-4 game. So Gregorius comes through with a base hit. 3 singles in a row for the Yankees. And it'll bring up Austin Romine as the Yankees do inch a little closer. It's now a 9-4 ball game.
Well, it's an off-speed pitch, a little slider, and you see Didi just shortens up like you've mentioned so many times, Kenny, and just puts it in play. Base hit in right center field. You know, you're seeing so many fastballs he's late on, and then you go off-speed, a little slider. It just speeds up a hitter's bat, and Gregorius takes advantage.
Once again, Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, out to the mound to talk it over with Romero while Cedeno warms up in the pen. He should be ready by now. There's Cedeno. And meanwhile, the hitter for the Yankees is going to be Austin Romine, who's driven in a run today and is 2 for 3.
How about that batting average, Kenny?
That's what you aim for every year. Brian McCann will get a chance tomorrow. Romine is singled, struck out, singled again. Low and inside, ball 1. This inning started with a call strike 3 of Castro and then 3 consecutive hits by Ackley, Headley, and Gregorius. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, we've seen Romine go the other way a few times this afternoon. I don't think that's going to be on his mind right here. You're going to get a fastball. Down by 5.
Swing and a miss. You were right. He was going for it. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch a little too far away. Looked like it was over the outer third. Yep.
He's trying to get the bat head out and do some damage.
1 to get loose and 2 to produce. Fouls this one off. 2-2. By the way, the Yankees have not gone in order in any inning in this game. They've always had at least 1 man on base, so they've been threatening just about the whole game against the Rays. Ball's ground ball towards the middle. It's going into center field for a base hit. Here comes Headley. He will score. Romine is now 3 for 4, and it's a 9-5 ball game. 4 consecutive base hits for the Yankees here in the 8th. Romine with his 2nd run batted in. And Kevin Cash is going to the mound. He wants a new pitcher.
Well, Romine having himself a day. Hits a ground ball right off of the glove of Romero. You see the ways the Rays are shifting. He'll pick up another hit and an RBI. Dugout has some time to think about things. A couple of replays here. A good look at the grip and the release. Fastball. Romine gets on top. Right off of Romero's glove. And Austin Romine having himself a day. Finds a hole. Another base hit. Another RBI.
2 men on with 1 out now. Jacoby Ellsbury back to the top of the order for the Yankees. Ellsbury's 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. Now facing Xavier Cedeno, who comes in out of the Rays bullpen. Another left-hander. First pitch is fouled off to the left for strike 1. Cedeno, you look at the numbers, maybe a few too many walks. 6 walks in 12 and a third innings. Opponent's hitting just .208. That's pretty good. And he hasn't given up a home run this year. Yankees trying to make it interesting in these last 2 innings. We're here in the 8th. They've scored 2 more. 2 last inning, and it's a 9-5 game. Ball and a strike on Jacoby Ellsbury. Tell you what, you basically, in these situations, you want to get the tying run to the plate. If Ellsbury could work his way on, the Yankees would have that. Little chopper. Going to be a tough play. Ellsbury hustling down the line. To throw the first is just in time. The runners move up. So Ellsbury's retired. Steve Pearce with a nice play. Gregorius goes to third. Romine goes to second. There are now 2 outs. And to bring up Aaron Hicks, is looking for his second hit of the day. He singled back in the first inning. The Rays are going to put the shift on with Hicks at the plate. Pearce is moving over to the left side of second base. That's in there for a call strike. Yankees seem this afternoon, they've gotten to a certain point. They can't follow through with that big hit today. They saw it in the 7th. Despite scoring a couple runs, Alex Rodriguez struck out with the bases loaded. This pitch is pop foul, out of play, 0-2. In the first inning, the Yankees put 2 men on. A double play and a strikeout. Didn't score. Aaron Hicks in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. You see the base runners at second and third. Gregorius and Romine. Pitch is hit on the ground to third. Motter across the diamond, and that'll do it for the Yankees here in the 8th. But they creep a little closer. Score 2 runs on 4 hits. At the end of 7.5, it's 9-5. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealer. Hurry into your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2016 models. By Bowlmore Lanes. Nobody throws a party like Bowlmore. Plan your next event at Bowlmore Lanes. By M&T Bank. What's important to you is important to us at M&T Bank. Learn more at mtb.com/meet us. Bottom of the 8th inning, and Hank Conger will take a pitch from Luis Cessa inside for a ball. Conger today has driven in 3 runs. He's doubled and scored, hit a 3-run homer in the 5th inning, and is also flying out to right. Long fly ball, foul, and it'll make the seats. A ball and a strike on Conger. So Conger, first home run of the year, the double was his first extra base hit. He also threw out a base runner. Line drive. Conger, what a day. He might want to bottle this one. He's headed to second with a stand-up double. He's 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a home run.
Kenny, you said it. We've seen him in Houston with the Angels. He's a better hitter than he has shown this year, and he's having a breakout day. Double going the other way, a home run, and now he hammers one into the right field corner.
So Conger with a leadoff double. And back to the top of the order for Brandon Guyer. Luis Cessa still in there for the Yankees. He came on in the 5th inning. First pitch. And that's ball 1. Career high in hits for Hank Conger in a game. 3. He ties it. 5th time in his career he's had 3 hits in a game. Guyer is 0 for 3, hit by a pitch and scored. Lays down a bunt. It's a good one. This good Conger to third as Headley will throw him out. Guyer with a sacrifice.
Well, we saw manager Kevin Cash early in this game play a little hit and run. Now a little small ball with a sacrifice bunt.
Trying to build some insurance here in the 8th inning. With the Yankees inching closer, scoring 4 runs in the last 2. It's going to force the Yankees to bring the infield in. Brad Miller at the plate's had a good day himself. There's Conger at third. Miller at the plate has doubled and scored, tripled and scored, struck out and flied out. 2 for 4. Infield in for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 8th. Fouled back to the screen. 95 miles an hour for a fastball from Cessa. Cessa trying to hold the fort here. Richard Blyer, recently recalled, left-hander warming up in the Yankee bullpen. High and away for a ball. It's 1-1. Double barrel action. Sturdivant and Colomé. Change up is downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Trying to hold that runner at third, get Brad Miller out of there. Fouled back to the screen. Another off-speed pitch.
Again, I sound like a broken record, Kenny, but the ability for a young kid to throw strikes with all of his pitches. I mean, slider there and a 2-1 count, drops it in there for a strike. Looks to be very much in control of what he wants to do out there.
Going to have to reach back for a little extra here. Tried to check his swing. Did he go around too far? Yes, he did. Cessa picks up a big strikeout. That's his third strikeout of the day, and now there's 2 outs. The infield can drop back.
Well, Austin Romine wants his slider down. He gets it in the dirt. He does his job blocking it. The check swing from Miller. We get a look from the side. Borderline.
And he went. Remember the advice I got from Merle Weaver, and the rest of us did too. Don't swing at the ball in the dirt. Here's Mata's first at bat. He took over from Longoria, who drove in 4 runs today. And the rookie takes a pitch for a called strike. We saw Mata last night at second base. He can also play short. Today he takes over at third. Good stop by Romine. Conger holds at third base. I wonder if catchers appreciate the good work of other catchers behind them.
Of course, of course.
The 1-1 pitch. Got his attention. Up and in. 2 balls and a strike. Who's the best defensive catcher?
Well, Pudge Rodriguez was the best throwing catcher.
Okay.
Mike Matheny was excellent.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with him. Sessa trying to hold this run at third. There's 2 outs now. He misses again, falls behind 3-1. How about Tony Pena?
Wasn't bad. I backed up Tony my rookie year in Boston. He taught me everything I know.
All right. Well, there you go. He was better than wasn't bad.
Can't give him too much credit, can I?
The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Mata draws a walk. So it'll be first and third with 2 outs. That's only the first walk allowed by the young rookie. Sessa just, let's see, he's 24 years old. That'll bring up Steve Pearce. Tough hitter. Pearce is 2 for 4. Last time up, he lined out to third. And Blyer's still warming up in the bullpen. He might get the next hitter if Pearce keeps this inning going. Fly ball to right center field. Long run for Ellsbury. He makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Rays. They leave 2 runners. On to the 9th inning. Yankees need a rally. They're down by 4. Ball is brought to you by Sleepy's. Shop Sleepy's 3-day doorbuster weekend with special Memorial Day deals every day. By Modell Sporting Goods, your fan gear headquarters. Come on, Bronx Bomber fans, you gotta go to Moe's. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. That was the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Plenty of sunshine outside today. The Yankees trying to show some late foot in this one. They're going to send up a pinch hitter for Ronald Torreyes. Brian McCann's going to lead it off here in the top of the 9th inning against a new Rays pitcher. It's their closer, Alex Colomé. This is not a closing situation. But he's 12 for 12 in save opportunities this year. Hard fastball, and first one is in there for a call strike. McCann, 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Next pitch, slider misses low, and it's 1-1.
Kenny, I'm just thinking, why wouldn't you pinch hit Gardner here leading off an inning and then save McCann maybe for a little later on when you need some power?
With some men on base?
Yeah, down by 4.
Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. There is Gardner, had the afternoon off. Colomé among the league leaders in saves. Frankie Rodriguez, K-Rod of Detroit, leads with 14. Ball is line foul. And the fact that Gardy's more used to a leadoff role. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's popped foul over to our left and out of play. Alex Colomé. One was prototype relievers that come out of the bullpens nowadays, throwing over 95 miles an hour. Swung on and missed. McCann is the first out here in the 9th inning. And that will bring up Alex Rodriguez.
Well, 12 for 12 in save situations. This is not a save situation, but gets off to a good start. I mentioned that good fastball. That was the slider that's just perfectly located. Back foot of Brian McCann. He swings right over the top.
Colomé's uncle, you might recall Jesus Colomé, pitch for the Rays. Here's A-Rod. He's grounded to third. 3 other at-bats he's struck out. High with a fastball for ball 1. His uncle had a pretty good fastball.
I caught him here.
Yeah.
Kind of all over the place. Big arm.
Bouncing ball towards third. Modric gloves it. And there are 2 down. Yankees are down to their last out. That'll bring up Starlin Castro. He is 0 for 4. Seasonal average down to 253. So the Rays are 1 out away from evening the series at 1 game apiece. Of course, tomorrow will be the finale. Evaldi against Odorizzi, a good pitching matchup. 2 hard-throwing right-handers. Check swing. Did he go around? No. Home plate umpire is going to call it himself. Jerry Lane says, yes, you did. It's strike 1. Yankees fell behind early. Rays scoring 5 runs in the first 2 innings. The Yankees were in a hole, and it looks like they might not be able to climb out of it. There's strike 2. Michael Pineda allowing 6 runs over 3 2/3 innings. Yankees down to their last strike. Colomé has Castro in an 0-2 hole. Wouldn't chase, it's 1-2. Day game tomorrow. We'll be right back here on Pix 11. We hope you will join us. The 1-2 pitch. Little tapper right back to Colomé. He straightens, throws to Morrison at first, and that'll do it. There's your ball game. The Rays have evened up the series by winning this one against the Yankees by a final score of 9-5. And tomorrow's game will decide the series. Colomé closes it out, and there's your final. We'll be back with more from Tropicana Field.